Hi, Islamic Dad here. Going to do a video over the last 24 hours, so to speak. First, if you enjoy this channel, find it useful, find it entertaining, please subscribe. It does help me out a lot. So, I know that for the most part on this channel, I focused predominantly on my covert narcissist ex-girlfriend. One, because she's the most recent relationship in my life, but also that the varying examples, traits, behaviors of her narcissism, spanned a lot more time and have a lot more examples there. That said, I have spoken about my ex-wife, who was a malignant narcissist. And not as many examples, just because once she had her midlife crisis, took on that new personality as the malignant narcissist, I got the hell out of there. It went fairly quick. I mean, I would say 9 months, the divorce was final. I was living in my new house. So, that said, it has been about it's been about 5 years since the end of my marriage. I don't have any contact with my ex-wife whatsoever. We had a teeny bit of contact when child support was still in effect. Even then, a game that my ex-wife liked to play was to continue to whittle down the avenues of communication so that it was, it could not be on the phone, then it could not be email, then it could not be texting, then it could only be through one of the court-approved, apps. And even then, depending on the topic, a lot of the time she would just ignore messages. So just really removing her ability to have any conversation with me whatsoever about anything. And once both kids had turned 19 and child support was no longer an issue in this state, that was the end of there was that one avenue that there could still be a possibility of communication, and that was gone. So since then, literally no, really no contact possible, which, and I just want you to do like a full stop right there. So for those people out there who have, had children with someone and then you got divorced, there's still, life happens. And so, if there's a situation where, say, like one of the kids needs, I don't know, an insurance card, or they need to, know some information for a form for college, or, maybe they're sick and they are, out, not able to go to school for a couple weeks, or something like that. And it's like, where it's not a want, it is a need to convey that information to my ex-wife. There's no way to do it. None. And so, I don't, like that fact, but it's one of those things I don't have any control over it. I mean, if it wasn't for, the fact that we had kids together, I wouldn't care in the least. But the fact is, we do have kids, and they're not disappearing simply because they turned 19. I'm still their father, she's still their mother. That doesn't change. So anyways, a bit of a tangent, but I'm just trying to put you her mindset, even for communication. So There was a club event last night, and as I think I've mentioned in my previous videos, I DJ. I have bands that I'm in, stuff like that. Even without those, I still like to go out to the club and dance. So there was a situation where my ex-wife was speaking with my son, which is fine. Completely separate from me, and he had mentioned that I was going to this club, and she kind of, or at least what he said conveyed to me is that she kind of wigged out on him and just like hung up, and it's like, okay. And then last night, I was in the middle of one of the rooms, jamming to some like 80s dance music, kind of an alternative new order, Yaz, that type of stuff, the good stuff, dancing, with my date. And I glance over, and there's my ex-wife with one of her guys staring at me. And as soon as they notice that I know that they're there, then they proceed to start making out, and like they're with their friends. And my impulse was to just vomit. Just like, it's so gross on so many levels. But it's just like, okay, cool. I'm gonna dance, with my my date, here. And then some more of my friends from the scene came up, and we were like hugging and talking and saying hi and doing introductions and stuff. And then I looked back, and they were gone. And which was fine. I mean, no harm, no foul, I guess. But and that happened last night. So today, I find out that she had put out the message of, okay, my blankety 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 blank ex-husband is going to be at this club. I want as many as my friends to come with me, and we are going to make him as uncomfortable as possible. And so, like, some of her friends were like, yeah, let's get that guy and stuff. And so it just, but and just to put it all in the context, I mean, as if this whole scenario is not weird enough. This is a woman I divorced 5 years ago. This is a person who the last time I had a face-to-face conversation probably was 4 or 4.5 years ago. Someone who the last time I had a text or email with them was probably 2 years ago. I mean, our lives are so far apart. It's almost comical. Like I said, I'm not happy because of the situation where there's still times with our kids that communication would be good. But that said, right now there is no communication in any manner, and in any medium whatsoever. So take that. So we've both had our 5 years to live our lives, build our new lives, and separate from each other. And she's been a party girl for 5 years, and I've published my second novel. I've got songs on, I think, 5 internationally published releases right now. I'm in 3 bands currently. I've DJ'd at a lot of the clubs, here. Um, and while things are certainly not great, I feel like as far as achievements go, like I've worked really hard to do the best with what I've got and do what I can and to really feed my creative endeavors and, pick goals and strive and work towards achieving them. And that's what I've done in the past 5 years. And so where I'm going with this is I don't understand why someone who I divorced 5 years ago, who has like no contact with me, hates me more now than she did at the time of the divorce. And I mean, I know some people might be like, well, where does that come from? So again, I don't know if I've shared this on the channel. So, my birthday was, last month, and my ex-wife put out this, blast on her social media, basically, letting everyone know that she was upset that I was alive. And that's not the first time that I've heard that. It was just kind of shocking that she would make that statement so publicly. And I mean, the most telling example, or impactful example that I can give of that is that about 1 year after the divorce, we were talking, and she said that she only had one regret. And I said, oh, and I mean, everyone knows, you can probably guess where I was going or where my mind was thinking. And she turned around and said, I regret calling 911 when you collapsed to the ground. And I wish that I would have not called and that I would have let you die. and that is face to face. So this whole thing about wanting me dead or wishing I was dead, that's not new, but it seems like her hatred has not dissipated over time. It's like it's kind of just grown, which is strange to me. I don't understand that. And so the fact that she would put so much effort into what she did yesterday, where she would, again, make this statement publicly, ask for people to join her, and then make the goal explicit and public again. I want to make my ex-husband as uncomfortable as possible. And then do it. Like, I mean, and then we're talking like drive downtown. I mean, the event was like $40 a ticket, I think. And that's not including parking and drinks or anything. So there's some, some time, some money, some energy went in just to try to make me feel uncomfortable. That said, putting it in a larger context, that is very much what a malignant narcissist does. I mean, like I said, I know that 99% of the time I talk about covert narcissism. And, there's a very distinct difference in their motivations and what they're trying to achieve. And the malignant narcissist feeds off of negative emotion. They, instead of validation and appreciation and getting supply that way, they get supply through conflict, through doing malicious, mean-spirited things. Again, it's like completely bizarre, but that was very much her goal, last night to the point that she put all that time and money and effort into it. And again, it's like, for what? It's not like anything happened. I saw her there, held back from barfing, and then, went, went to the woman I was with and said, "This is weird, but that's my ex-wife over there." And so, and then shrugged off and went back to dancing. So I don't know if like the malignant narcissist, like, kind of has like a delusion aspect into what they've achieved, through doing these things. It wouldn't surprise me. But either way, I just thought that I would share that because, I, like, seriously, I don't think I've seen my ex-wife for 3 or 4 years. And so it was very odd, bizarre, and disgusting to see her last night. And so, it's just, at the very least, it's just kind of, making me scratch my head, like, what is she getting out of this? But yeah, so I thought that was a good example of the behavior of a malignant narcissist. And it was, something that I thought I'd share here just because, for the most part, I do focus on my covert narcissist ex. So, anywho's, hopefully this has been, helpful, and if not helpful, at least entertaining.